Hey guys, welcome back. This is Naresh. So in the last video, we have seen that we were using a get method using HTTP client class of Java, and we're trying to hit an API and getting a response and asserting a response. So we have used HTTP client class. We have not used any other third-party classes like RestAssured, SoapUI, or anything else. Okay, it is just pure Java which we are using for getting and testing our APIs. All right. Now, just like get, we can also use post method and we can also, work on the put and delete. So in this video, I will tell you how to do and how to call a post method in API testing. All right. So you know that in post method, we always have to give some body. So let me show you in Postman how do we post in a post method. So this is my get URL, but I want to do a post, not a get, because I don't want to fetch the information. I want to update some information or add some information, and that's why I want to use post. Okay, so I will click on plus symbol, all right, which will create a new tab. And here I will select post. And now I have to set the URL. For that URL, I need to check the website of this fake API of JSON server. All right. In that, if I go here, it says me that for post, I need to type this, okay, as my resource after the URL. All right. And if I see here, okay, so I need to give the base URL. So base URL is same for this fake API. So I will just copy this base URL first, okay, and after that, I need to copy this one, okay. All right, what else? So we have selected post, we have selected a URL. Now I need to give a header. So I can just go to body and I can click on draw. Here, instead of text, I can select JSON application JSON. So it will automatically add a header for me. Okay. Then in the body, I need to give a format of a payload. Okay, but how do I get that? Again, I need to go to this website. I need to see the documentation. So this is what you have to do on every API. You have to refer the documentation or you need to connect with a developer to know the format. Most of the time, the documentation is there. And now I want to add this. Okay, and I will just check that what are already added. So up to 3 to 5 are already added. Okay, so what I will do, I will go here and instead of ID 3 to 5, I will write 3 to 6. Okay, and I will click on send button. All right, let's wait. All right, so it has been added, right? Can you see that? Can you see that bottom? It has been added now through my Postman. Okay, now if I want to see that if it has been added or not, I will just go here. I will click on this. So if you see here, 326 is added now. Okay. So my Postman is working fine by giving some parameters in Postman. And now we will do the same thing through Java. And the same code which I have written in get method, you will see 90% of the code is same. I am just changing few things. First of all, we have to give a body. Okay, so I will give a string and I will call as body payload. You can even call it as payload, which is a known name. All right, and this body payload, what you can do, I will just try to copy this. Okay, and I will put it here. All right, see what happened that in Java, if you have to, wait. All right, yeah. So if you have to give a double quote, you have to put a backslash, otherwise it will not consider that it is a double quote. So wherever your double quotes are, you have to put a backslash. Okay, there's no double quote on 326, there's no backslash. Here title also, there's a double quote, so I have given backslash. It automatically do that for you. Okay, so it seems everything is correct. It has automatically done that. If in case it has not automatically done that, then just put a backslash just before this double quote. Okay, so seem fine everything here. And okay, now let's go ahead. Now again, we have to create a class of HTTP. All right, so what we can do here, we can just type closable HTTP client equal to client equal to HTTP client s dot create default. Okay, so now we are creating a client first. All right, so I have created a client, so I will just make it as creating client, or maybe I can just put it at the top so it's more clear. All right, so we have now created a client. All right, the second step, if you remember, we have to go ahead and add a header. So if you see here, if I show you the get method, okay, what we have done earlier, that we have created a client, and then we have okay, so we have created a URL, and then we have add a header. Okay, so what I can do, I can first create a URL or I can create a header. So first I will create a URL and then I can add a header on that. Okay, because if I create the URL, then I would get this request object and then I can add the header. So logically, this is need to be done first. Okay, so I will do the same thing. I will call HTTP request, and this time we are not using get, we are using post. Okay, so before we have used get, but this time I'm using post. So I will do HTTP post request equal to new HTTP post. Okay, it's 2 times only. All right, and once it is done, then I need to give my URL. Okay, so what is my URL? My URL is this one. Okay, so I will just copy this and put it here. Okay, so this is done now. Now we have gone ahead, created a client, we have gone ahead, created a URL, and now I just want to add the header. Okay, and in header, what I should give? I will give the same thing which was written in my Postman, that is content type. Okay, so let me paste and application JSON. All right, so I have added the header. Now what? I need to add the body, and for adding the body or a payload, I have to give the method which is setEntity. Okay, and this entity expect an entity to give, and so I cannot give my string directly. I can call the class which is new string entity, and here I can give this body payload. Okay, so now my body, I have already provided the body of that. Now I have to execute my command and I have to store the response. So what I will do, I will give the class closable HTTP response, and let me make it as name as response equal to client.execute, and here I need to give this request. All right, so let me put a semicolon at the end. So this will go ahead and execute my command, and this will give me a response. So before we go ahead and do the assertion, let's try to understand that what we are doing. We have created a body here. Okay, I have created a client. After the client, I have gone ahead and created a request with the URL. Okay, so if you want, I can just paste it here. Creating client, creating request with URL. Okay, now after that, adding header and adding body payload. Okay, and then executing and storing response. All right, so this will go ahead and store the response after executing the command. So the first thing, whenever I do any get or any post, the first thing I need to do is to check the status code. Okay, so it would be I can store it anywhere. I can store an integer, so I will just type here response dot and then it would be get status line dot get status code. Okay, and after that I can print it if I want, system dot out dot println. Okay, and I can give here status code, and here I can give status code. All right, I can do assertion, assert dot, which is very important for any testing. There is no test case. There should be no test case without any assertion. All right. And here I can give either condition, or let me do with the assert equals. Okay. Assert dot assert equals. Oh, it's not coming up. Assert equals. All right, and here I need to give the expected and actual. So let's see what was my expected status. So it was 201 when I have run through Postman. So my expected is 201. Okay, and what will be my actual? So the actual will be here in the status code. I can just pass it out here. Okay, so if my post request happens successfully, it will give me 201, and we are asserting that. If it's not happening, it will just go ahead and kill this method. It will fail this method and it will come out. Okay, if it's working fine, what is the next step we have to do? Okay, after next step, what I can do, I can get the entire body. Okay, which I am getting here. Can you see this? Once I have run that, I got a response here, right? This is a response which I got. All right, so I need to assert that. Sorry. So I need to assert that whether it is working, whether we are getting correct or not. So what I will do, I'm creating a new string called response string. Okay, so we are getting it in the string format now. And then there is a class, all right, to convert the response into a string, and that is called entity utils dot toString. Okay, and here I can give response dot get entity. All right, so this will convert that response into a response string, and then I can print it out. System dot out dot println. Okay, and I can just give response. Okay, it's here. Let me select that. All right, so I have already gone ahead and got the response. Okay, now once I got the response and I have printed that, I need to assert that. So as I have told you before, that there are many libraries available through which we can convert the JSON response into some string. We can convert those string into some JSON path so that we can easily get the data from that JSON payload. Okay, so right now I am using a library, a class called JSON path, which is a part of RestAssured. So I am mixing the two if you see here, right? Because there is no harm in that. I can do that. But if you have like any other library also, through which you can easily convert that JSON string into a path, you can do that also. So I'm using JSON path. Okay, and let me give name as JS XPath. I can give any name. I'm just giving, because we can give an XPath of any variable there. Okay, so that's why I'm giving. And here I can give this response string. Okay, so this will convert the entire response string into the XML paths. Okay, now if I need to get any particular item, right? Let's say I need to get this item just to make it sure, this ID. So we have put ID here and we are receiving the ID back that it has been created. So if I want to get this ID, I just need to give the path of that, the XPath of that. Okay, so let me give the name as int ID equal to JS XPath. Okay, and after that there is a command of get. There are many get commands which you can use, but I can use the simplest get command, and here I have to give the XPath. So what is the XPath? Okay, so what is the XPath of this payload? Okay, so if you see here, I can directly give ID here. There is no further hierarchy. If there is a further hierarchy, example, instead ID is a string, it can be an object, and this object can have another object, and that object can have a string. So I can get that by putting dots, right? But there is no hierarchy here, so I can directly give ID. Okay, I don't have to put dot and something and dot and something. If it's a hierarchy, then only I have to give that. But there is no hierarchy, so I can give a simple XPath of ID. And then if I want, I can just print just to make sure, you know, ID returned is, and I can give here ID. All right, and then I can assert that. Assert equals. So I need to put something which I have given here. Let me put 327, a new one. Okay, and 327 here also. Okay, and in actual it would be ID. Okay, so let's run that and then we will just go through it once again. All right, so there's no 22, 23, 7 here. Okay, like I have shown you before. So up to it's 3 to 6. There is no 3 to 7. Okay, so now let's run this. TestNG test. All right, can you see this? So it has returned us a payload and a code 201. Our test case is passed. ID is 327, which is correct, which I was expecting. And if you go here, just hit on enter one more time, and you will see that 327 is there. Okay, so this is the way we can use the post call in our client in our Java. And now we don't require to use anything else. So see, it seems a bit complex. The code seems a bit complex, but it's not much code. See, this is all your Java. Okay, whatever you are doing here, assertions is an important step. It doesn't matter. Even if you are using some third party REST assured something else, also you have to assert that. There is only 4 or 5 lines of code which you need to write, and I think it's not a big deal to learn these 5 lines of code instead of switching on to some other application. There are many good applications available in market like SoapUI, RestAssured, Postman, many other things which are available in the market nowadays like Karate. uh, just you take the names. There are 8 to 10, I think, good clients are available. Some are paid, some are free. But the challenge is not about payment, or the challenge is not about free. Challenge is why to learn something when we can do exactly the same thing through our code. Okay, there are benefits of using those tools because they in those tools they don't we don't have to do a database connection. They do it automatically for you. You don't have to create classes for Excel. They do automatically for you. You just have to put your data there. So there are some advantages of using those tools also, which are for those people who don't know how to code properly. For those people, it is good. For creating reports, they are providing automatic reports. It's very nice, right? But if in your company you are using a framework, okay, and you have to test something, then you don't have to learn any other tool, because the same thing which you are doing from that tool, you can do it from here. Only the matter of fact is you have to do a lot, a bit more code at your side. You have to be perfect in all the things. So in my previous Selenium videos, I have explained you how you can do that, how you can integrate different things, how you can integrate database, how you can integrate Excel file, how you can integrate property file. So I have explained almost everything which you can integrate through your code, through your Java project. So let's try to learn this. If in case, you are using SOAP UI, rest assured, that's good. You can go ahead with that also. But let's keep this also in mind because this might help you in your future. All right. So thank you for watching this video. Let's wait for the next video. If you like it, please hit on the like button and share with your friends and other people. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.